How you doing, guys? This is Hybridsteel. Welcome back to Whiskerwood, and this is my tutorial save that I can sit here and mod and mess around with, because this is the one I help you guys learn how to play the game. So, in my previous couple of videos, I've had a couple of suggestions, and the suggestions themselves are unfortunately quite short. I'm going to put 3 tutorials into this video right now. Okay, number 1, we're going to be talking about storage. So, on the storage side of things, we're looking at the back end. You see this big black square here. This is the entrance to automation, and obviously the front door is the front door. Don't put stuff there, people get peed off. So, you don't want to block their path. The big black box at the back is where you put your automation. So, if I'm going to put a flat belt into it, I'm going to have to raise this up. So, I'm going to push F. Boom, and there you go. I'm going to go and there you go. So now if I put anything onto this conveyor belt, it should go into the back of that box quite happily and be happy. As I'm going to have to put stuff up to that level, because you know it's an upper level and it's a pain in the bum, if I'm going to need one of these. This is an uphill conveyor belt, so basically what's going to happen is that stuff's going to travel up and it's going to travel into there, and then it's going to travel into storage. I know, it's amazing. It's like it was designed to do it. It's fantastic. Now, when it comes to your hopper, now I did have a little bit of trouble with hoppers at the beginning of the game. Now, this could have just been I was working on the early access, but if this happens to you, then there's still an issue. Now, when it comes to your input hopper, you can do it like this. Now, and so the hopper launches straight onto the conveyor belt. During early access, and as I said, I'm not sure if it's fixed. I mean, it could be. I haven't had any issues since, but just in case you have an issue with this, if this doesn't work, put the hopper to the side. Now, this will basically cause the actual hopper to change. You'll get a little conveyor belt change here, and you'll be able to like slot onto here, and all is good. Now, when it comes to basically dictating what goes into the storage. Now, if you have an open storage like this and anything can be put into it, if you go to the logistics tab and just reject all, and then choose what goes into your storage box. So if you're looking for, let's say, you're looking for just stone. So we're going to change that to stone. Now what's going to happen, unfortunately, is half of the dim-witted mice that are going to send stuff to your storage are going to use your hoppers to put stuff into the storage box, because it's in their nature to put stuff into things, because they need to get rid of it. They need to store it somewhere. And your hoppers are open to everything. So what you want to do is you want to first off assign them to a drop-off only point, which is completely fine. And then you want to whitelist allowed resources, and you want to find the resource that corresponds with the storage box. And so we're going to click stone. Now that hopper can only accept stone, which is completely fine. Now I've had mice turn up whilst I'm still doing that as a process, and I'm turning it off. I've had mice try to put a fish in there, even when I've tried to just get it to a storage where it's anything else. So that's how that works. Everything has to line up to go into the box at the back if you're doing automation, because so the internals of this, it's the little green door at the back. So this little green door is the entrance for the storage. Now inside of the actual storage box itself, it has a little green door. That's the exit to the automation, so it will just sort itself out. So make sure it goes into the big black box at the back. Okay, cool. That's conveyor belts, storage boxes, and allocation done. Next one, we're going to be looking at lifts. All right, so the lift. Apparently, someone, I read a post and it said that they're not sure why, but they made a lift and so their mice weren't using it. So here we go. Now when it comes to lifts, they are fairly simple, but I'm going to be honest, this bit isn't explained and you have to kind of work it out for yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a lift in the air. I'm just going to pretend that this is my ground floor. Okay, ground floor, all good. And we have to build, obviously we have to build a shaft. So I'm going to bring this up and we're going to bring this down, and let's just pretend we're underground. Okay, and you're like, yeah, I built my lift, and then they're like, well, I can't get on it, mate. And it's not going down, mate. So what am I supposed to go? How am I supposed to use this contraption? You've given me this, and what am I doing? Well, what you've done is you've done exactly what I did in my first attempt at doing this, and you'll realize your mistake very, very soon. First off, delete the bottom one. Secondly, go back into the lift, find the entrance, and put it at the bottom. And then what will happen there is that they have a bottom lift and a top lift. And what's going to happen now is they're going to get up here, and then they're going to come down here, and then they're going to go up there, and they need an entrance and an entrance. So the way it's labeled isn't exactly amazing, but this basically is an entrance and an exit. That's why it didn't work. And if you've got any other issues with this, let me know. And if you've done that and it's laid out exactly like that, where you've got an entrance at the top and entrance at the bottom, then have a chat with the developers, because something's wrong with your game. It all works in my game, it works in here, and I don't know other than that. But that's literally how lifts work. Top and a bottom, and the shaft in the middle. Then we're all good. Just don't miss. So when you're actually building these, as you go down, don't come off of that line, because sometimes it looks like you're doing it straight, and then when you zoom in, you go, oh, it's not straight. So make sure that's there as well. I know that's a simple point, but there we go. Next, we're going to be looking at trains, because this is the automation video. Okay, so the last piece of automation in this game is the train track. Oh yes, the train track. First off, you will need one station. One station. Now, like I said, I'm using WeMod to do this. I don't have to worry about, you know, doing stuff. It's all good. Now, automation for train tracks are completely fine. All you have to do, if you want the world's basic train track, is this. There you go. Congratulations, you've built a train track. And what you'll do is you'll put your little thing on here, and what's going to happen, and by the way, you can only get one of these per line. You can't put 10. I was really annoyed. I was like, can I join them up and make a train? Nope, you can't do that. Because if I could join them up, then I could have like loads going. You know, or they could have just a longer train. Nope, you can only have 2 minecarts per track. So if you want to build like an island, and you want like loads of people to go and come and everything else, try and get like loads of these. And this is actually giving me an idea on how I could almost create like a better way to get to a different island by using these. It's a lot faster. So what's going to happen with this is that the train is going to go from this station to this station. Okay, I'll show you. There we go. And what's going to happen now is that because it's got nowhere else to go, it's going to go back. I know, absolutely amazing. It's fantastic. Now, obviously, because this is just a tutorial, I'm not really going to sit here and show you how to set all this up. But if you want a rail booster to make it go faster, which I think would be quite funny, what you do is you chuck this into the track itself. And then this red boiler needs to be hooked up to a boiler system that you're going to create in your game. That involves using a water wheel and a boiler to heat up and use steam, and then it moves faster. Okay, but I'm not going to show you how that works because I don't want to build the whole system. Apart from that, there we go. Next then, now you can turn this into a loop. So what you would do is you'd come out, and then we'd turn it around, and then we're going to bring it all the way back. And Bob's your uncle. There we go. And what's going to happen now is the train will get to the next station. Oh no, it's not. Hold on. It's because I didn't connect up the rail. And then what's going to happen here is that the train will just keep going around in a big circle on its own. And there you go. And you can add as many stations as you want into this. So if you want a train track to basically link from one side of your build to the other, it's perfect. Okay, so the last piece you can do with this is, obviously with train tracks, they work on the same like principle as everything else. You can raise them up and down. So if you want to build a train from here to all the way over there, then it can be done. It's just you're going to have to raise it up, and you can build your station high above the mucky mug. Now the problem with this is resource cost. Just to build that platform alone will cost you, let me just raise it up, it will cost you 6 planks, 2 cut stone, 4 iron bars and 12 logs. The logs are just to bring that up to there, which basically means you're going to be spending a lot of time chopping down trees to build a longer railway. Now the problem with this is if you want this track to go anywhere else, you're going to have to pay for those resources on every single thing you make. One plank, one iron bar, and 3 logs. As you can see, it gets a bit expensive just a little bit down the line. So yeah, if you want to build that line, go for it, be happy. And that's pretty much all you can do when it comes to like making a train track from one side to the other. You have to put up with the cost, and you have to put up with the fact there's going to be loads and loads of wooden rivets everywhere. Build it over houses, it looks a little bit better. Now the problem with that is, like I said, it doesn't go up and down. For what I understand, let's just get this going. So I want to go up, I can't connect it to go down, so I am stuck with just one level of railway on each section. So it's kind of a limitation with it. At the end of the day, it's just the joys of the game. You kind of have to work around it, but apart from that, it's all good. All of this is very simple to understand, very simple to pick up, but it's very simple to get confused with as well. I'm not going to deny this, because a lot of people look at it and just go, well, that makes no sense. And it's true, some of the stuff in this game doesn't make sense, but it does when you learn it. You go, oh, now I understand. Okay, I get it. So yeah, there you go. If you want to build a train track from one side of your village to another, be happy, but the cost will be a bit more ridiculous. In fairness, I kind of found building enclaves of houses, which was easier. So like for me, and I explained this during my tutorial, like my miners work here, my miners own these houses, and then when it comes to people who work around here, they live in these houses, and anyone that works in the middle, they own these middle houses here. When it comes to farmers, they tried to get into the houses closer to them, and that's kind of how I worked out my housing problem. But it's the same as like I'm working on quite a big city now, so if I want my mice to travel from one side of the other to the other, I'm gonna have to build a railway station one side of the map, and then take the cost of each rail section being built, and that's quite a lot when you're burning constant resources to make fuel. That's where I'm up to, and I'm like, I need a better way to make logs, so we'll go from there. But yeah, hopefully this video has helped you out with like any questions of automation, when either from the storage or the actual conveyor belts, lifts, or even the train track. If it hasn't, or if you've got any other questions or you want something else answered, down in the comment section below would be your best place, because I'll read your comments. Trust me, I read every single comment that comes through, and if it's a comment that can help, then the video could help as well. So until my next one, I'm gonna say peace out, have fun, enjoy everything you guys do. Bye bye for now.